from the COVID Facebook series earlier this year. Doterra Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Russell Alsgathorpe.
Over the course of my career as a pediatric infectious diseases specialist, I've treated countless patients. One of these was a 6-year-old boy who will forever be etched in my memory. He had a rare form of leukemia, and his treatments decimated his immune system, making him vulnerable to all sorts of infections that wouldn't cause any of us any problem at all. I got to know him and his family closely over the course of his illness. He was infected with a virus common to childhood, which ended up destroying his lungs and taking his life, despite our best efforts to stop it. This is why immunity is central to all life on Earth. The immune system has received a lot of attention lately, and we have a good opportunity to separate some fact from fiction today. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but the fact is that without your immune system, you would die due to overwhelming infection. There's an endless list of things that can potentially damage your body, and you're exposed to these harmful substances, pathogens, and cellular changes on a daily basis. Your immune system detects and responds correctly to thousands upon thousands of microbial and antigen-related issues without you being conscious of its actions at any time. There are more microbial cells in and on our bodies than there are human cells in our body. Keeping the invaders out of places in our bodies they should not be is incredibly important. Here's where your immune system enters the picture. It plays this vital role in protecting you from infection. So, how does it work? There are two types of immunity, innate and adaptive, also known as cellular immunity. These immune systems protect our bodies inside and out from all different kinds of threats. Let me explain a little bit more about what these are and why they matter. First, let's start with the innate immune system. Innate immunity is the body's primary protection against the outside world. It includes all kinds of physical barriers, including the skin and mucous membranes. These barriers make it more difficult for threats to enter the body. It also includes cells that immediately respond to dangers like injury or infection, but can't respond or distinguish between species of organism. These are general responses, not specific. This function of the lining of our lungs keeps us from getting diseases like pneumonia. Second, our digestive system has vital functions that protect us from infections. Secretions like mucus, bile, and saliva make it extremely difficult for pathogens to colonize and then infect us. Gut microbiota plays a very important role as well. With healthy microbial flora in our gut, pathogens have a hard time finding any room to grow and cause an infection. Third, our skin is a tremendous barrier against infection and has many cells that generally respond to damage like cuts, abrasions, and bruises. When our skin is injured, general responses from immune cells help to kill invading pathogens and recruit higher-level immune cells that can respond specifically to the exact location and nature of an injury. I could go on and on, describing every body system and how it contributes to the innate immune response. From our eyes to our genitourinary system, from our gut to our lungs, we are able to exist because of barriers and general responses to pathogens and invaders of the innate immune system. But that is only the very beginning of the amazingly robust response our immune system coordinates. Now let's talk about the second part of our immune system, the adaptive immune system. Adaptive immunity is more complex and specialized. It consists of two main cell types, B cells and T cells. Receptors on these cells recognize specific antigens and organisms. An antigen is a specific molecule that fits like a lock and a key into a specific B or T cell receptor. The innate immune system presents these antigens to T cells that can then sound the alarm, so to speak, before the infecting organism can cause a disease. The innate and adaptive immune systems work together to protect us from infection, allergen, and injury. In addition to T and B cells, there are two divisions of the adaptive immune response, humoral immunity and cell-mediated immunity. B cells are responsible for our humoral immunity. They create antibodies that can detect and then flag antigens or organisms circulating in the blood and infected tissues. Once the threat is flagged or labeled, the body's cells can recognize and then eliminate the invading infection. Because antibodies are so specific and so small, they can label the organism anywhere they've landed in our body, even far away from the B cell that created the antibody. This is a remarkably well-designed protective element of our immune system. Cell-mediated immunity relies on special types of T cells that recognize and then can kill infected cells. Let's say a virus has infected our lungs. T cells specific to that virus can recognize cells that have been infected and then hijacked by that virus. They then eliminate that cell, recruit an army of immune cells designed to fight the infection, or they can trigger a self-destruct sequence in the infected cell. Whichever it is, the T cells have to act fast before the pathogen in the infected cell has time to replicate, escape, and infect other cells throughout the body. But wait, there's more. Our immune system has something called immune memory. It remembers the old enemies it has beaten and also remembers how to fight them. This immune memory makes future responses against the same threat more efficient and effective. When subsequently infected for a second time with a pathogen we have once responded to, we can create a faster, more powerful response thanks to immune memory. Even if it is 10 years after the fact, 50 years after the fact, it's phenomenal. It may surprise you, but managing stress can be beneficial for your immune system. Stress can have a serious impact on the state of your health. Unmanaged stress can suppress your immune system and actually make your immune response less efficient. Many of you likely experienced this during exams in school. You made it through your exams and then a few days later started feeling under the weather and sick. Maybe you've watched your kids go through this cycle. Some people experience this type of stress for long periods of time. Chronically high stress levels are problematic, not only for our immune systems, but for many other body systems. That's why it's so critical to manage our stress proactively. You'll hear more about this topic in later sessions, so I won't spend much time on it, but it's worth keeping in mind. We've all heard advice about ways to strengthen the immune system. Some of it good and basically universal, some of it uncertain and subjective, and some of it actually kind of bad. Now's a good time to lay out exactly what you can do starting today to give your body the boost it needs to defend itself and you from infection. They may sound basic and self-explanatory, but they are so necessary. First up is something you've likely heard recently. Wash your hands. I cannot stress this enough. Wash your hands, people. Not only does this help prevent the spread of germs to others in unprecedented times like these, but it also limits the power they can have on you. Think about how often you touch your face, giving these microorganisms ready access to enter the body through facial orifices. Washing your hands helps significantly to reduce infection. Next, a few ways we can decrease stress and strengthen our immune system. Eat a healthy diet with fresh fruits, vegetables, healthy fats, and proteins. This kind of diet provides your body with essential nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that you need to properly function, and that especially includes your immune system. Following your diet is your level of activity. Be sure to exercise regularly. Vary it up so you aren't just doing the same activity in the same pace repeatedly. Moderate exercise has repeatedly been shown to be the foundation of a healthy lifestyle. And finally, get adequate sleep. Studies have shown that far too many adults in the U.S. aren't getting the proper amount, not to mention the right type of rest they need every night. On average, adults should be getting approximately 8 hours of rest a night. Most of us don't get enough sleep, and restful sleep is another foundational component of a healthy life and immune system. In conclusion, your immune system is truly incredible and endlessly fascinating. To me, at least. I hope it is to you. It is a robust defense against infection, constantly working to keep you healthy, both by keeping threats out and neutralizing any threats that do make it into your body. By practicing healthy habits and taking care of your body, you can keep your immune system strong and able to handle all the challenges the microbial world throws at us every day. Stay safe.